As virtually every American now understands, Washington is broken. For years, Congress has spent irresponsibly and with what seems to be little or no thought for how it might affect future generations. We're passing along a bill that our children and grandchildren may never be able to pay. And it's immoral as it is unsustainable. Meanwhile, our nation's top military officials have repeatedly warned Congress that the #1 threat to our national security is our debt. We have no choice now but to correct this wrong and institute policies that promote fiscal responsibility. Currently, our national debt exceeds $20 trillion, and the number increases every second. Mr. Speaker, when I do town halls back home, I put the debt clock up on the screen very often and allow our constituents to watch that clock toll. It's frightening. The last omnibus package, which is a whopping 2,230, the last allocated another $1.3 trillion. That's about $582 million of federal spending per page. Our government is out of control, and we have to put an end to the dangerous and clearly excessive spending patterns that are coming out of Washington and out of this body. As I've said on more than one occasion, people all across America sit down at their kitchen tables and create budgets for their families. Small businesses make countless sacrifices to manage their balance sheets, and our government should act no differently. We cannot continue to spend money we don't have and drive ourselves further into the debt of hostile nations like China, who is the primary creditor in holding all of our debt. Passing a balanced budget amendment is a common sense solution that will put us back on the right track and restore fiscal sanity to the Congress. The balanced budget amendment will ensure our government acts as a good steward of America's tax dollars, not only today, but for all the days in the future. It has the potential to make the bloated budgets of Washington a thing of the past. Opponents of this amendment will say that passing this will force serious cuts to our budget, and to that we respond and say, of course it will. We simply cannot get out of the hole that we've created without making tough decisions. But that's our job. That's why we're elected as the duly elected representatives of the people. Right now, our country faces a point of no return with our debt, and there should be nothing controversial about telling our federal government to act within its means. This is simply about aligning and agreeing upon our top priorities. Thomas Jefferson said that the representatives of a nation should never take on more debt than they themselves can pay in their own lifetime. We've abandoned that principle a long time ago, and unfortunately, we've already far exceeded that amount in this body and in our lifetime, and it's now our moral obligation to right this wrong. This is really about who we are as Americans, if you listen to the founders. That's why I urge my colleagues to support the balanced budget amendment to the Constitution and help restore and preserve the dream for our children and for all future generations. We owe that to the country. Fiscal sanity, responsibility, and good stewardship is why we were sent here, and it's what we must do.